London's West End is ready for its next act as live productions roar back post-pandemic. Latest figures show more than 16 million people attended a theater performance here in London last year. As demand from the audience grows, could now be the right time to invest in theater? And what does it take to back the next big hit? Performing arts is among the fastest growing sectors of the UK economy. According to data from the UK's Department for Culture, Media and Sport, last year the sector contributed an estimated £11.5 billion to the overall economy. With the number of performances rising since the pandemic, West End theater is becoming an alternative asset class worthy of attention, both from audiences and investors.
So there's really kind of two basic models in London. There's what we call the not-for-profit sector and the commercial sector. And the not-for-profit sector is theatres like the National Theatre, the Royal Court, the Young Vic, the Almeida, and they are charitable organisations. They're funded by a mixture of government money, philanthropy, sponsorship, that kind of thing. So they work on a not-for-profit basis and produce lots and lots of shows through the year. And then there's the commercial sector, which is what people think of when they think about the West End. And that's the big playhouses and musical houses right in the centre of London. And they operate on a model which is all private investment.
Who are the investors that put money into these commercial theatres?
It's a real mixture. I mean, they're really just lots of individuals who are passionate about theatre and have enough disposable income that they can kind of enjoy that speculation. We always say in theatre, we don't let people invest who can't afford to lose it, because it's a pretty high risk investment. But you have to be really certain. You wouldn't want to take money from anybody that didn't know what the risks they were getting into. But it's a bit like investing in any kind of startup, I think. If you think about each show as a startup on its own, the potential for it to be a success, you could list all the shows that have gone on to be incredibly successful and been incredibly good investments for people. And sometimes they don't work at all and you lose all your money.
So how much would you need to invest to see a return? Investors in London can contribute as little as a couple of £1,000s to buy into a play. But as productions get bigger, they become more expensive to finance and to produce. Budgets for shows in the West End can reach millions, while on Broadway in New York, the stakes are even higher.
Our general rule of thumb, probably still about the same with the exchange rate, but you basically change a pound to a dollar sign and you add a zero at the end.
Wow.
So if it's cost £500,000, it's going to cost $5 million. That's the general rule of thumb. So the model is much tighter on Broadway, but because the theatres are bigger and the ticket prices are higher, if it works on Broadway, the potential for profit is also much higher.
The pandemic shook things up for live entertainment, and just as live events started to come back, producers were faced with a new set of challenges. Inflation and rising costs of everything from energy bills to ticket prices further weigh on the sector. Here in the UK, the government stepped in to extend current tax relief for theatres for an additional 2 years, helping to incentivize producers and allow them to attract more investment. When it comes to finding the next big hit, it's all about fundamentals. Unique location and setting can play a big role. Agatha Christie's Witness for the Prosecution, a show that Eleanor produces, is set inside the historic London County Hall, but there could be more things at play.
What is it about the show that on a Tuesday evening, somebody is going to want to spend 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds at least to buy a couple of tickets and go and see the show? Something about it has to make them decide to do that.
Finding the next Mamma Mia or Hamilton can be tricky, but by investing in theater, you can have a say in whether the show does go on.